Good evening from Washington, D.C., and thank you to those of you joining us from around the world for news from a Catholic perspective. I'm Lauren Ashburn. President Trump dives back into the immigration debate, saying he doesn't want to separate children from their families, but he doesn't want open borders. The president is calling on Congress to provide the legal authority for the government to detain and promptly remove families together. White House correspondent Mark Irons reports. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Lauren. The president is facing more pushback for his zero-tolerance policy that requires every adult who illegally crosses the southern border to be prosecuted. Catholic leaders in the U.S. are demanding an end to this policy, and even President Trump says he doesn't like when children are separated.
We want to solve this problem. We want to solve family separation. I don't want children taken away from parents.
President Trump faces growing criticism, fueled in part by new audio of migrant children crying for their moms and dads. The Trump administration policy is sparking protest around the country.
Stop ripping children from their parents' arms.
But the Department of Homeland Security, the agency enforcing zero tolerance at the border, says some of the adults with children are not actually their parents.
In the last 5 months, we have a 314% increase in adults and children arriving at the border fraudulently claiming to be a family unit. This is obviously of concern.
Kirstjen Nielsen, the Secretary of Homeland Security, argues the abuse of immigration loopholes is forcing the separations. The president says the whole issue can be resolved if Congress passes wider immigration reform.
We want security on the border. We don't want people coming in. We want them to come in through a legal process like everybody else that's waiting to come in to our country.
The administration came up with the zero-tolerance policy and has the power to end it. I asked the White House Director of Legislative Affairs if the president would take action. Any chance he'd end the zero-tolerance policy without comprehensive reform?
I'm not going to answer hypotheticals.
The Department of Homeland Security said today it is still working out the process of eventually reuniting parents and children at the border after they have been separated. Lauren.
The United States isn't the only place struggling with migration. We often report on problems in Europe as well. How are they handling the crisis?
Well, today President Trump welcomed the King and Queen of Spain to the White House. Their country has been in the news this week for welcoming a ship of migrants that was turned away by Italy and Malta. But that topic did not come up here today while the cameras were rolling in the Oval Office. Instead, President Trump and the royals reaffirmed the two countries' common history and heritage. Lauren.
White House correspondent Mark Irons, thank you.